I'm going to wait till YouTube starts.
We're 9 seconds in.
It still says waiting for Graphic Man.
It says it's been live for 20 seconds here.
Yeah. There we go.
Tonight, special.
Graphic Man.
Next on 4 News.
And here comes Spider-Man to prove it. Furnished by Marvel Comics and celebrating his 30th anniversary.
Looks pretty good for his age.
Yes, thank you. Oh, you mean him. Spider-Man is America's...
Kids, the new Toys R Us catalog is here, and it's filled with this season's hottest toys.
What was that?
It's Batman.
Catwoman sets a trap.
But Batman's unstoppable.
No, I'm not.
Batman strikes back.
Catwoman's in.
Batman returns.
Bruce Wayne figure included with custom coupe. Other figures sold separately.
Believe it or not, I'm streaming tonight. For cover fossils will be there. Chatting away on a whim with no cares. What could this be? Believe it or not, it's a stream.
All right, it worked. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. I am joined by some great looking fossils and some that look pretty ordinary, but we'll continue anyway. We've got with us a triumphant return of Jackson Roykirk, I noticed. He's been out for a while. Here is Jay. Hello, Jay. Michael Taylor's here. And Horror Mike, who's been busy today, checking out auctions and things. And here's Maranya. Maranya, I have some Iron Man to show later. Oh, that's just me. Here's Jackson Roykirk. What a busy lifestyle he must lead. Yes, I wanted to know if the theme, I asked them if they'd let me see it. Let me know if they saw it. Okay, good. Now I don't ever have to show that again.
Well, that portion with the Batman toy commercial, that toy commercial is the most likely inspiration for Tom King's run on Batman.
Oh.
When Batman shot a missile at Catwoman.
I guess her falling into the dumpster was kind of,
Yeah.
fitting.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
bad news. Looks like half the people were watching the TV listings and switched over to Firewalker. And even worse news, Jackson Roykirk was not one of them.
Oh. Well, I knew Meyer would enjoy the Toys R Us commercial. Did you ever go to Toys R Us? I always thought it was too expensive.
Yeah, I liked Toys R Us when I was a kid. It came along, but we had a different toy store that was kind of like a local Toys R Us.
I spent most of my time at Kmart, really growing up.
Yeah, Toys R Us wasn't even in our area until I was probably in high school or college.
Yeah, we had it 74 or 75 is when it became big here.
Oh, it must have started in California then. Yeah, it didn't get to North Texas until later.
Yeah, we didn't have Toys R Us before 1995.
I preferred a store in San Antonio called Kitty City. I think it was bought up by some big corporation, but that was an amazing toy store. And
All right. I will start us off showing Fantasy Masterpiece.
Oh, those are great, those fantasy masterpieces.
Yeah, it can be your first introduction to some of those monster stories in the back by Ditko and Kirby. Really great stuff. Here's some 70s Ant-Man. Marvel feature.
That guy's going to get it.
Yeah, that looks painful. Tetanus shot incoming.
Egghead. And apologize for this artist here. First one of the evening. You guys probably have the full run. There's a couple missing.
no, I don't have that one. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like there's one more. He doesn't sound like a friendly doctor when his name is Nemesis. And I was happy to get, this is number 1 from 1966.
All right.
I'm trying to get the full set. You know, on the back cover, they usually reprint the front cover, but
that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the story behind them? What happened to their parents? Why are they with Donald?
We never told, but Carl Barks had a working family tree. Later, Don Rosa settled on the name Della for the mother. And in the family tree, there's a bird in front of the name of the father. So we don't really know who the father was. Kind of an old gag.
There was one mention in the story where they first appeared that their mother sent them to live with their uncle because they had lit a firecracker under their father's chair.
Okay.
I believe that was a cartoon, and her name was Dumb Bella.
Yeah.
And Rosa thought that her name needs to be a little bit better than Dumb Bella, so he shortens it to Della. Now on this one, go ahead, Paulo.
Della is Donald's twin sister, and their mother is Scrooge's youngest sister. And
he has a hot temper.
Yeah, she has a hot temper, and I bet she wears the pants in the family.
Great lore. I hadn't heard any of this.
This is number 96, and I liked this cover so much when I was a kid. I'm going to actually show you guys. I attempted to draw this when I was about 16 years old, but I did it more in the style of Kirby.
Wow.
With the Kirby Crackle. But it's...
I love it, man. That looks fantastic.
And I really did draw his head, but the picture didn't, cut that off. So trust me, I knew how to place things, even when I was 16. It was my attempt. And I just really liked that cover. But the Iron Man at this time period were just dynamite. Especially with the Hulk. And Ant-Man, see the theme? Ties all in. Not looking at the chat, but I assume Maranya is out there. Now, here's an oldie from 1953.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Wow.
It's one wild-looking griffin.
Maybe that's the nephew's father.
Right. And 1960 Batman.
Yes.
I've never seen that cover.
I like these, but maybe you guys can agree. I don't know. Around this time period, whatever interesting story was on the cover, that's the third story of the book. So you go through two stories, and they're pretty good, but it's like you can't wait to see this crazy creature. You got to wait till you get to the end. DC did that a lot. I'll finish this round with a little Peter Parker #2. Al Milgrom artwork.
The cross promotional Omen ad on the cover.
Right.
It was a subject of its times, I guess. All right. Well, thank you for enduring all that. I'll get caught up on the chat as soon as I find it again. And Meyer, I talked to Meyer earlier. And I said, hey, I want you to show some of those great Dells. And he said he would. So take it away. Well,
Not
the other Meyer. He's also wearing a hat. It threw me.
Yeah, let's look at some Dell 4-colors. Most of these are from the mid-50s. Right off the bat, we're going to start with the Son of Black Beauty, this really nice horse cover. So before Gorillas, before the Punisher, before Wolverine, horses sold comic books.
Yeah.
See, look, here's another one.
There's Stormy with Pluto. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is an interesting thing. This Stormy, I guess, is a Disney short film, and they did this thing, this double feature idea, and this would have just drove me crazy. This idea drives my OCD crazy. You're supposed to read two comics at once, the main feature, and then at the bottom of the page you've got this Pluto story. And yeah, I would just have to read the Stormy story all the way through and then come back and read Pluto, right? Wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, it would tempt you to cut it right there, let each book have its own staple and go from there.
This is Walt Disney's Ben and Me. This is a true story about this mouse that helped Benjamin Franklin to sign the Declaration of Independence.
Obviously.
It's a well-done cartoon, too. I really enjoy it.
It's an excellent comic. It's a great cartoon and an excellent comic. It's really good because the whole thing is from the mouse's perspective, right? Knights of the Round Table. This is Dell doing a tie-in with a film. This is a movie that came out in like 1956. So 4-color comics, you guys might know or might not know. This was a weekly title that came out every week. It was very popular, and it was sold not only in comic book places, but you would find it in stationery stores and supermarkets. Because it was a Dell product, it was a very large corporation that had licenses for everything. They had, you guys will notice that it's licenses for everything. So there's a lot of corporate backing with these comic books. So they were, in many ways, they weren't necessarily even marketed to kids. They were marketed to moms. Moms were buying a lot of these comics and bringing them home to kids. Kids weren't necessarily picking these out. Rhubarb the Millionaire Cat. This is another true story about some sort of a tax dive scheme. This idea to leave your million billion dollar inheritance to a cat, right? And then pretend that the cat is the millionaire, but really it's some sort of a scheme to hide your money, right? I think there's a Netflix movie about that, except they used a German Shepherd. See, look, the horses again, Son of Black Beauty. These are really affordable. You can usually buy Dell comics like this for $2 a piece, right? Beautifully illustrated, but it's done
Hey, Meyer, was that also written by Anna Sewell, Son of Black Beauty?
Was it written by who?
I think her name was Anna Sewell or something like that. The original Black Beauty. And so I didn't know if she also made another one or they're capitalizing on the titled character.
So I think it's a book. I don't know if it's written by the exact same author, but Son of Black Beauty was an actual novel that came out after Black Beauty. And yeah, because it says based on the book, but it doesn't have the author's name. I'm sorry. Did I miss? Am I missing the chat? I'm not reading the chat.
They're yakking about Gil Kane for some reason. I don't know why.
So this comic right here is an example of like what I was saying before about this comic company had this like very large sort of corporate backing. So the artists that were working for this company were just as much as they were comic artists, they were really like commercial artists, professional illustrators. So it really plays out with the painted covers, and then also just the simplicity of the art style, which has this kind of uniform look, but it grows on you if you read it and grow in, and get into it. I know Micah appreciates this stuff.
Oh yeah.
This is a strange title called Little Scouts. I'm not sure if this came from somewhere else or went anywhere else. Now, a lot of these Dell titles that went through 4-Color became successful and went on to have their own comics, right? Well, not a lot of them, just a few of them did. And that might have been one of them. I don't know. Here's another Disney tie-in. So this would have been sold like in the market right around the same time as this Disney movie was actually out in theaters or being shown like on Wide World of Disney or whenever, 1956. But look at the quality in this might be one of the most beautiful comic covers of all time. Look at that.
Yeah.
Very good, yeah.
No ads, really cool photo on the back.
Yeah, lots of books started in 4-Color. Donald Duck's first 20 books are in the 4-Color lineup. Rented 10, first 3, so on and so on.
Exactly. We just haven't come to any in this stack. Is that good for now? Should I save the rest of them for the next run through? Has it been long enough? I lost track.
No, that's fine. That is fine. We'll run to somebody else. I was kind of jumping the gun going to Jambo. Jambo, you ready? Or
Sure.
All right. Paulo can send over some files while you're going.
Okay. I picked up a couple new books. Got that story. It's been pretty good, actually. It's kind of goes back to the early Avengers and uses a lot of reference from those early stories. So yeah, it's been pretty good. Alan Davis doing the artwork. So yeah, enjoyed that. And picked up a facsimile.
Oh, it's a facsimile. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a facsimile. Got the old barcode there. Found that in the budget bin. That was pretty cool.
Maranya says your volume is a little low.
Little low. All right.
There you go.
Turn it up. Okay. And pick that up.
Why is she hurting those poor guys?
She's giving them the once over, though.
Yeah.
40 cents. Was that about the same time the TV show was on?
Will that be 78, 79? I don't know.
Okay. Well. And these were laying close to me.
Wow.
Yeah. Big girl adventures. So, yeah.
When did that come out?
Matt Baker. I think late 80s. This AC comic.
Oh, right. I've just
Yeah.
never seen that title.
Yeah, it's got several different, Cave Girl, Camilla, Sky Girl, Torchy. So it's not just Phantom Lady, it's a few other girls too. Kind of like this one. So, and just some odd things this week.
Wow.
Stuff I found at a good price and thought was kind of cool. Never mind the artist there.
Thank you for the close up.
That was a great comic. I love Charman.
I dropped, so I didn't see. What was it?
Or the artist there.
That's kind of brings you a tear to your eye, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Spring and people getting married and all that stuff,
It's so sweet.
I just cry at weddings.
Or on Gil Kane covers, right? There's some Spider Woman. The cat fight.
Yep.
That logo, it doesn't work.
Yeah. And some
I love it.
superheroes. Yeah.
That's a beautiful cover.
Yeah, it's awesome. Doom cover.
They should have put a question mark by superheroes because
Still the exclamation
right.
point. Yeah.
Right.
And one more this round. Another
Oh,
cat fight.
cool. I don't have a K shirt like that.
If you did, you'd have Wonder Woman and Supergirl fighting over you.
That's right. Very good stuff, Jimbo. All right, let's see what Paulo is wanting to show us.
Yeah, so today I decided to look for comics in a language that I don't understand. I kind of noticed, so the other day, brought to mention something about discovering an Australian comic and said that I should look for stuff like that. And I'm not really familiar with the Australian comic scene, apart from knowing that the Phantom is very popular over there, and that the Prue stories have the Prue comics, Prue being the Phantom's publisher, they have original stories made for the Australian market. But I noticed that I was going usually for the comics published in countries with languages that I can't understand, and I was kind of missing out on Germany. And historically, there's been a large publisher that's put out comics of an insane variety. They not only comics, not only American comics, but also cartoon adaptations, French comics, even stuff made in Germany. And that publisher is Bastei. And last week I showed a French Elf Quest, and here we are with a German Elf Quest. Another one, issue number 8. So they kind of use the original covers.
How are they pronouncing that? Elfenwelt?
Yeah, Abenteuer in the Elfenwelt, Adventures in the Elf World. So it's not a direct translation of the title. This is an Alice in Wonderland adaptation of the cartoon that showed in Europe in the 1980s. So the cartoon was produced in Japan, but it was financed by Germany. So even in Portugal, where it showed, we had the German titles. It was called Alice in Wonderland. He-Man comic. This It was a short-lived series where they did comics based on the New Adventures of He-Man cartoon of 1990, which is the one that sucks. I used to have a mini comic of this. And here's another European anime, Heidi. That being, of course, the Heidi stories from a famous Swiss author.
Paulo, does that come with the first 58 minutes of that game too?
Does Paulo, do you know what we're talking about?
Not sure.
Okay.
If it's something, if it's another game that I'm thinking of.
It was like 67 or 68, and I think the Raiders were playing somebody, and one of the two teams had a big Jets, and one team was up 14 with about 2 minutes to go. In the hour, it came to the top of the hour, so they just cut off the last 2 minutes of the game and started showing Heidi. Well, the team came back and won, so it's forever known as the Heidi Bowl.
And because of that, if a game is even totally out of reach, they will insist on showing you everything. You have to sit through it now, but
well, the NFL is now bigger than Heidi. I'm not sure it was at that time.
All right, so John Tornado. This is for almost 30 issues in Germany, and I really like the logo on this. It's John Tornado. It goes through quite an effect. These are reprints of the British comic strip Garth. Why they renamed him John Tornado, I don't know. But now I want Garth to be known as John Tornado everywhere. These covers, the stories inside are art by Frank Bellamy, but the covers are original for the German reprint.
It's Flash Gordon.
Almost. It kind of is, yeah. And here's another one. Yeah.
There's Iron Fist.
All right.
Raumschiff Enterprise. This is a photo comic. This lasts for about 5 issues. It was in the late 60s, but these are not Dells. They're a photo comic with scenes from the TV show. Sandokan, the pirate. You know, I never know. Was Sandokan ever famous at any time in the U.S.?
Never heard of him.
No.
Okay, so these are a series of adventure books created by Emilio Salgari in Italy, and then they did movies and cartoons with them, and there are a lot of comic adaptations and news stories. Sometimes with Spanish artists, even though they came from Italy, but I never knew if Sandokan was ever known in English-speaking countries. Here's another cover. The covers are pretty good.
Yeah.
Vampira, the comic. I have no idea what this is. I just like the cover. It was a one-shot published in the year 2000.
It don't look like Vampira.
I think it was made in Germany. The website where I got this from listed two German names as the authors.
Huh.
Vastel. This was apparently lasted for a long time in the German market. Vastel is a spin-off of the Bob and Bobette Belgian comic. And the guy kind of has superpowers. That's why he's dressed like this. Even in the Bob and Bobette stories.
I would get that.
Yeah, I like it. Really.
Oh, man.
So yeah, the even without superpowers, the humor is kind of surreal.
He kind of looks like a muscular Jughead.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, he does have the same facial expression. That's the only facial expression he has.
That's great. Good one too. And that motorcycle's crazy.
Tex Norton and Ron Camaro on the inset. These are reprints of British stories. I think they appeared in Tiger This also lasts for about 30 issues. Covers are pretty good. Corsair. These are actually German reprints of the French comic series Redbeard, which was something that the Asterix creators were involved in before they did Asterix. But this lasted for a bit longer than the French edition, so there may be some original stories in there. And this one, Kalari. The stories are set in the jungle, but they have very weird monsters throughout the whole run. Also, I don't know why the character wears short shorts. Probably for the female audience.
Well, it's probably hot,
And that's it for now. So we'll come back later with more German comics.
Wow, those looked great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing that I liked about Basta, they always had these painted covers for everything, even when the art inside was kind of simple. But at least they tried to. So it's in that regard, they're like Dell. The cover is always better than the insides.
All right. And while you were on, we were joined by a few more new arrivals. By the way, Captain Strangelove hopes to join us next time if he can't make it later tonight. So it's always good to see him. Fireball slipped in. And, of course, some of you guys recognize Jimmy. I've already lost it. What was his name now? Mr. Quirk. There it is, Cinema. So, look at that profile. All right. And, of course, Gray Man still staying awake over there in England and World Comics Review. It's good to see you. Hello, John. And, all right. I was going to run over to Gratu, but he had to step out. So, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That leaves the appreciator of the great one. Stan Musial, right? He's on mute. That might be for the best, so we'll see how it goes.
I gotta find a better thing to do with my Wednesdays. All right, we'll get the breeding out of the way.
Excellent.
Let's see. Let's run through some random 80s books tonight. Yeah, some oddball stuff. Here's 50s romance.
Mm-hmm.
Eternity, I guess, must have just been lapping up every public domain thing they could find. Here's one for Jambo nods off. The big fight takes place at the Playboy Mansion.
He does like knives, that's right.
An Eclipse anthology series. There's a Johnny Nemo story in it. There's a Spicy Tales.
Yellow.
Crime Classics.
With the Shadow's nose.
Yes.
Is that an anthology with other characters besides Shadow? Or
no, this one's just Shadow. Some of them have a few. I'll be showing a couple of those in a little bit. Here's an AC reprint book. Here's another issue of Torrid Affairs. You can't tell this was published in the late 80s, can you?
No. Blends right in.
Yeah, nice mullet on that guy.
And her.
Mm.
Let's see. Here's one. I'm gonna guess before I show this that Jambo has the original Black Phantom.
Yes.
Do you?
Oh wow.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah, and the numbering on that original A1 something. Boy, weird.
And her first appearance was in Tim Holt.
Yes, it said she was a villain that he reformed.
Right.
Here's maybe the coolest book in the stack here, the Gumby Summer Fun.
Right.
Do you know who did the writing was Bob Burden, the guy that did Flaming Carrot, but the art Art Adams.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Here's another issue of Crime Classics.
Nice.
Here's this has reprints a bunch of Saints newspaper strips. There's a few more Spicy Tales here.
Yeah, that's great.
And here's something I didn't know existed. A company called Power Comics. Can't even find them on Comic Book Realm. Here's issue 3 of Night Witch. 1977.
Wow.
Wow.
Never seen that.
I hadn't either.
I would have guessed 1985. Wow.
The official Mandrake Monthly is reprints a bunch of newspaper strips of other characters also. Secret Agent, Rip Kirby, Mandrake. Here's the Prince Valiant.
These are probably right up my alley. I've never heard of these.
See, great man.
And here's the EC reprint. The first time that they reprinted any issues was 1974.
There's just been a warehouse find of those.
Of the 74s? Nice.
Yeah, they're selling them. The original guys that printed them are selling them for like $5 each.
Nice.
And this is one of the two. I actually have this original issue.
Wow.
And here's Weird Fantasy.
Great cover.
Yeah.
Here's another Prince Valiant Monthly. Now here's these aren't as cool as the Charltons I've seen you guys show it. Here's a Marvel 2-pack with Moon Knight and a Peter Parker.
Excellent.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's another one with Kazar and a Conan. Now, I know the temptation would be to break these out of the bag, just hoping that the interior art matches the cover. Oh, God.
Wait, turn it around and sing the character's name.
Kazar!
Yeah, sometimes they put a $50 bill in between those. You never know.
Yeah. Will you cover it if I'm wrong?
No.
No.
It's a big gamble.
To finish up, went to Ollie's. Yeah, had to get one of these after I saw it a couple times a couple weeks ago.
I'm glad 2 of you have that. I wish I did. Boy,
unfortunately, I started to take the Ollie's sticker off, and it was taking the package with it. So I guess that sticker's gonna have to stick around. And let's see, picked up the Wonder Woman, Emma Peel series in omnibus form, and this might be the last time any of you see me, because last but not least.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Kirby is mighty.
Was that at Ollie's?
Yes, and this is Mighty Big.
That was at Ollie's?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going there tomorrow.
Are you going to use it to get into shape?
It might be too late for that. But yeah, this was it's one of those things you buy and you realize, okay, they don't make coffee tables big enough to put this on. There isn't a bookshelf on earth you can fit this in. But I didn't care.
Yeah, what are you going to do with it now, right?
Well, you buy it first and you worry about what you're going to do with it later.
You just put legs under it and make it its own coffee table.
Or just get, I think there's a Fantastic Four. If I get that and I put them about 6 feet apart and just put a piece of plywood on, I've got a table.
You could shingle your roof with that. My goodness.
Anyway, I checked Power Comics on the Grand Comics database. All of the story or all of the issues are indexed. And yeah, these guys are Canadian. There's a Mike Gustavich stuff here. Dave Sim,
Really?
Bill Lobes. Yeah.
No kidding. I didn't recognize any of the names in that particular one, but I've got a couple other Power comics here.
Yeah, there's a few guys that I have no idea what they are. Joe Zabel, Casey Brennan.
Yeah, this don't ring a bell.
But yeah, there's Dave Sim in here. And they also put out just one issue of Cobalt Blue.
Yeah, I wonder what they have are. I guess I'll show the other ones in the next round.
I'm hoping some of you guys with a better memory than I do. See, I'm writing down this time. Breen showed Crime Classics and Prince Valiant Monthly. I need to check those out. Last week, Steve showed a monster magazine. What was that called? Was it Realms?
Monster Bash?
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you, Kenneth. Monster Bash. Yeah. That stuff's illegal over here. You can't have anything good where I live, so I have to go find that. So, all right, let's go.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Most stores don't carry it. You have to special order Monster Bash.
Okay. Well, we're going to go run to you, Gratu. Say hello.
All right. Well, I had to run a second ago. The dog was vomiting. Speaking of German stuff, this is something I've had since I was a kid. Mansell Mansion. I assume Capriolan might be the artist, but I don't know. This we were living in Germany when I was between age 4 to, I guess, maybe 7. I was living in Germany on a military base, but we would go off, into the German community and buy stuff sometimes. But it's all wordless. But the panels are shaped like TV screens. These were little short cartoons, and a few years ago I discovered them on YouTube. And what I remember is on Saturday night on the German channel, they had about a 3-hour block that was all American commercials. And it was explained to me as a kid that the Germans love our commercials, and they'll sit and watch 3 hours of solid commercials just because they're cool to them. And then about every 3 commercials, there'd be a 5-second or maybe 10-second cartoon of these little elf guys. And so this was
there are toys of that thing.
I had one of I don't know, I think it was this guy, a little vinyl figure. I don't know what happened to it over the years, but it's one of those things that didn't survive.
But they look great. I think Meyer would love them.
Yeah, they're cool little toys. All right, so let's see. From about that same time period, this is the first Scooby-Doo cartoon comic book that I got from about that same time period. It's not in very good shape.
Still very cool.
So Scooby-Doo, I guess all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons are taking a beating by the media that want to turn them into something horrible.
Man, those look great.
Yeah, they do.
These
are pretty rare and hard to find and expensive.
Yeah, you got some great stuff there.
They're hard to find, really, because they printed millions of them.
The kids destroyed them. Kids didn't really take care of them.
Well, this is the difference between me at age 5 and me, I guess, that's 15 cents, and me in like 3rd grade or 20-cent comic. I took a little bit better care.
Oh, cool.
Of them.
Yeah, I've only seen one in the wild, Gratu. That shows you how uncirculated the Scooby-Doos are.
Oh, that's weird. I had no idea.
Wow.
I think I've already shown some of this stuff before.
I've not seen that Smokey Bear.
Yeah, I guess the guy that set the fire is upset that Smokey is trying to put it out.
I like it. Yeah, Smokey's piloting that plane.
Oh, tell me what this is going for. It's not an interesting comic. It's really a piece of. I hate it, but I guess it's not in perfect shape. It looks like this comic looks like it has spine ticks, but I hate using that word. But it's because there are bricks on the back cover. So anyway, I'm thinking of swapping this, putting it on consignment in Arizona with Kevin at Gotham City Comics, and then when it sells, he says it'll sell immediately. Just send me some of the stuff in my hold pile. But I don't know. Is this what would you consider this condition? Because I still grade comics like it's 1976. I don't know anything about 8.0, 8. What do you think?
Oh, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I would say very fine gloss.
Nicer than that, it looks like to me.
I don't know what it is. I'm kind of showing it mainly so Kevin's watching. He can see it. So let's get, I don't want to make references to the close-ups. It's like some adult movie. It's like a close-up. Look at the corners. The first time I saw it, it's like, well, where's Deadpool? I don't see Deadpool on the cover because it looks just like this guy here has a red cape on. Because there's this long, skinny thing that looks like it has deer legs. They're not even human legs. I mean, I guess people love it. I don't know. I didn't mind the Deadpool movies. I guess my good friend of mine hated them. He was a big fan of X-Men from the 60s. Despised those movies. And I guess he's probably right, but they entertain me. Here's my earliest Space Family Robinson.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. At the Hall of Justice.
I thought when I got my first Overstreet Price guide and almost went blind staring at it for an entire summer in the summer of 76, I thought that the 4-color, I thought that's so confusing. The confusing things about comic collecting was 4-color because it was hard to understand, and all the Classics Illustrated and all that was hard. But now I can't even imagine being a 12-year-old kid and trying to figure out comics with all the different variant covers and starting comics over and over and over again. It just doesn't make any sense.
That's very nice.
That's why kids don't collect.
No, well, they don't read it either, so it's.
Well, I mean, even the ones that buy the comics, they don't collect them. Very few.
Well, people that buy them I don't know. There's no telling. I mean, in the 60s, it worked to have the 66 Adam West Batman show. Kids bought the comic, but there was no competition from video games. The TV show was on, and it caused the comic sales to go up. And I remember in the mid-90s going in a comic store in Longview, Texas, and saying to the guy there, you must really be selling a lot of these X-Men comics because of that cartoon. A lot of kids must be coming in because of that Saturday morning cartoon. He says, not a one. They'll watch the cartoon or play the video game based on it, but they don't come in here looking for the comic. Yeah, and I thought, how is that possible? Well, it's because everything had changed.
Well, the one thing that the people that make the live action property, or the comic industry, never figured out, comic book fans will watch the live action properties because they can't believe that their books have come to life. But if you started with the cartoons or the movies or the video games, the comic's going to seem awfully dull if you haven't already been into them.
Well, it's like coming into a soap opera that's been around, since the 60s, trying to understand.
But I mean, it's like, but yet they don't move. So I said that's what the kids want, and you can't play a comic book, you can't watch a comic book. You have to read it.
I've gone almost completely mentally ill in the last 3 days because I discovered, I was trying to beam cartoons from my phone, from the internet, to my Roku, so I could record them. And I couldn't do it for months. And then I realized I've got to have a Roku app on the phone to do it. So once I managed to do it on archive.org, I think I showed in the last episode, this guy has every Marvel superhero cartoon, but he's arranged them into theme episodes. Each one's about 2 to 2.5 hours long. And, he'll have a Thor cartoon, then Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Hulk, and the quality is really, really good. So but the problem is, as I'm beaming from my phone, if anyone calls me, it stops it. So my wife tries to call me, and it's like because it ruined the whole recording. I've been recording for 1 hour and 50 minutes. I just needed 10 more minutes. And that's not been a wonderful thing. I've just gone insane because there's 13 episodes and each one's 2. So it means that there's like 30 hours of Marvel cartoons I've been trying to record. And then I saw, they've got the whole Thundar the Barbarian. It's not that great a quality, but I've never been. And so I've been going nuts it's all insanity. But, anyway, if you want to know the link, it's at the beginning of my last episode, the one that was a 6-hour stream from Arizona.
Those are great, Space Family Robinsons.
Yeah. Oh, this one looks. I was excited by the back cover. Because this ad is great because it actually shows you what you're getting, which very few, they never did, except here. You can tell that they're flat. They're not 3-dimensional soldiers. They're flat. Anyway. So yeah, I've been really enjoying Meyer showing the interior of comics. That's a wonderful thing because mostly I see people holding up slabs and being able to see the interior of comics. And it was great when Kevin at Gotham City Comics on Sunday's show was showing inside of comics. I just love that. It's just such a letdown. I mean, it's not that the art is horrible, but compared to the cover, which looks like a pulp, it's just I mean, it's all wonderful, but as a kid, it was kind of a letdown. This is the first one I bought when I was really nuts about the Lost in Space TV show. All those others I bought later. I bought this when it came out off the rack, and I was just trying to figure out, okay, they're kind of like the TV show. It says Lost in Space, but it's like it was very confusing. Eventually I figured it out, but anyway, those cartoons are phenomenal. Don't let anyone tell you, it's bad animation. No, it's amazing. Anyone that doesn't like those cartoons doesn't like early Marvel Silver Age comics. They're idiots. It's wonderful. It's just like looking at the comic book panel with wonderful acting. John Vernon, the music is fantastic. The sound effects, and even they put the sound effects on the screen like they did in the Batman show. But Captain America will be fighting furiously, and they'll put the sound effect poop right by his butt. And they'll say, meanwhile, in an old building, and it'll say old building. So I guess they're trying to be like the Batman show, but it actually has written old building on the building. It's just great. So anyway, but how much could a Roku hold? I just grabbed the stream from my computer and transferred it to DVD. I used to know how to do things like that, but I don't have Roku doesn't hold any information. Maybe it does. I don't know. No, I beam it from my phone to a Roku device, and then I have the HDMI come out of the Roku that would normally go to a TV set, and instead it goes to a splitter, a device that transfers HDMI to old-fashioned RCA, red white, and yellow plugs. See, I have to go back in technology. So I'm going to have a little bit of loss in high definition, but so I take the HDMI is converted to RCA, and then the RCA is fed into an old DVD-R recorder that records like a VCR, and they don't even make them anymore, but you can still get the recordable discs. And so I transfer them to DVD that way. It's just like recording in the old days of VHS, but I have to downgrade the signal and get it away from 2023 and into 1980s, 90s technology in order to record them. I don't know how else to do it. But anyway, I've gone on too long. But I can show you how to do it sometime on my show if I ever get back to doing the show, because I've gone mad recording.
Micah, you're muted, buddy.
Can't hear you.
That's not such a bad thing.
That's right. I wanted Eric to feel at home and at ease. So see if Marania's still watching. Thought I'd show another. Here's another Iron Man. Guess who drew this? Yes, it's Sal Buscema.
Iron Man bondage.
I like how he has a frowning face. He can have a sad look on his
armor.
That's nothing, Gratu. There's an issue with
He's
Team
had
Up
it.
where his armor sweats.
Right, I remember that.
Well, here's a Hulk annual with Adam Warlock and Doctor Strange.
Cool.
This must be a key issue because,
Yeah, it's got Warlock.
It's got a cocoon. I mean, and sadly, people will think this is a key because of some goofball named Groot on there. But
I love that comic when it came out.
unfortunately, it drives the price up. But all the other guys are cool too. But
I think I was 7th grade. I bought that comic. It's so good. I loved it.
here's some more British Hulk. Here's a back cover, Patch and the Monsters.
Classic.
Never heard of them.
What is that they're selling? What does that word say on the blue roll? Is
Blobs? They blobs?
Yeah. British candy.
Oh. Can't be good.
Marie Severin.
It's good stuff. And the Fantastic Four is this man, this monster.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Good story.
More British. See, Gray Man's already left. He should know better. He should stick around.
It's good covers, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the size, and I like how some of them have like a centerfold, like black and of course they're black and white, but the centerfold poster that you could take over.
The death of the Hulk must be a key issue. I'm joining Grub too and making fun of those people. Here's some dinky toys.
Love Dinky Toys. Very high quality die cast from England.
Now, I don't recall this this splash. Is that the real McCoy, or did they add that because you have to split things up? I don't know. I'll have to double check. My memory ain't what it used to be. Here's the Mandarin.
Oh yeah.
All right. In honor of the senator from Kentucky.
The turtle.
2 of you will get that. Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of an insult to Goofy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he fell down the stairs, right? It's hard to do that when you don't have a spine. Anyway.
Or chin.
Yeah. Here's Fire Lord. By Rich Buckler. Now, sometimes artists, when they get to be well known, they have an assistant help them. I think he was helped out on this one because it looks, pretty good. But
droll, Winston. Very droll.
Some of these jokes are only for you. Here's John Byrne.
And you know who has a cameo in that issue?
Tell us.
Clark Kent. He's at the Bugle Christmas party.
Notice John was a little lazy. He didn't want to, draw in this middle section here. He just kind of left it blank. Keith Pollard. Daredevil.
I don't know about you guys, but this first couple issues after Claremont and Byrne left team up, kind of tough to get used to.
Ron Wilson. And when I was younger, this one was hard to get because of the mutant craze that was going on in 1980. Here's Superman Family. I already had a real rough copy of this. I'm glad to get a nicer one. Here's Super Team.
That's one of Miranya's all-time favorite books.
Really?
Like that Rocket's kick she did to that guy's face.
Here's some bronze action. Interesting story where Superman gets knocked back into 1776. And he's there to see the signing on July 4th. However, later I learned in school that all that was signed on July 2nd, and it took 2 days to spread the word. Now, since then, we've retro changed it to the 4th of July, but they say the original signing was on the 2nd. But Superman doesn't agree with that, so I discount the schooling. Yeah.
So much for when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight.
Right. This one's for a good laugh, I guess. This goes on my tonight's reading list. All right, that will do it for me. I think we'll run to Meyer.
Hey, I grabbed this a second ago because there was a mention of Tim Holt, right? Yeah. And this is one of those Donaldland books, and this is a color one.
Nice.
And let's see, John Goris in the comments asked about Tim Holt. So there's this really nice write-up real quick. I'm going to read it what it says. It says, Tim Holt, the cowboy star of the movies, had a successful film career from the late 30s into the 1950s, playing against such legends as Humphrey Bogart in Treasure of the Sierra Madre. But unlike many Western stars, Holt never played himself as did Autry and Roy Rogers. He was a cowboy actor, but in the comics, he ended up being the same way, and he played himself, but he wore a mask and went by the name the Red Mask, right? Kind of an unusual situation that this title of this comic is the name of the actor, but he's not really himself in here in the same way that Gene Autry and Roy Rogers were. He's portraying a comic book character.
Is that an Amazon one or one of the new Barnes and Noble printings?
This is one of the old original Amazon ones.
Okay. Do you have any that are from the Barnes and Noble?
No, I don't. I only have those ones from like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't found any of the new ones. Here's some more 4-color. This is the adaptation of this Robin Hood movie that Disney put out in like 1955. And I think you can watch this movie on Disney Plus. I think the best stuff that's on Disney Plus is like this right here. It's a really nice purple cover. I love this cover. Here's some unusual, seldom talked about or heard of Disney characters, Bongo and Lumberjack.
You guys hearing that? Some kind
Yeah, that's my phone. It seems like the timing is always this way. Whenever I'm on here, that's my son, my son text messaging me right now.
I thought it was my fart machine.
Yeah.
Sound like a foghorn or something.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Somebody's foghorn out of the butthole.
Yeah, there it
Holy
is. This is Gunsmoke with James Arness portraying Marshal Matt Dillon, right?
Something smoking.
Kind of looks like he's got like a filter on or something, like they photoshopped him.
That was a great TV show.
Oh, cool.
Milt Caniff, Steve Canyon, right? Now, do some people say Caniff or does everybody say Caniff?
To me, it was Caniff. But...
Very nice painted cover with these really cool. Obviously, you've got these interiors that are like, the Steve Canyon comic strip, but you've got it here, a full comic book form. Sorry about that, guys. My kid is like bombing me with messages right now. Here's this Chilly Willy cover, and this is for snowflakes, people bothered by loud buzzing noises during their swim. This is another horse. Remember what I said? Horses sold comics in 1955.
So did dogs. Yeah.
And dogs too. You're right. Another Disney tie-in with the Disney film that was coming out probably the same month as this comic, Jungle Cat. And the last one we'll look at is this really cool George Powell movie.
Wow.
Atlantis, the Lost Continent.
That was a fun movie.
I've never seen it. I got to check it out.
That's where they give people bull heads, right?
Wow.
And here's an ad on the back for Twinkies. This is a breakfast cereal. And as I was mentioning before, Dell was marketed in a different way than some other comics. This was clearly being sold in the same place where they're selling Twinkies or Twinkles, and that's a grocery store. And so they were wanting moms to buy this. That's it. Sorry about that terrible news, you guys.
Meyer, if I text you right now, will it play that noise?
I don't know. I think it's only on my son's, but it might.
Okay.
Right. Go ahead.
Nah.
I don't know, though.
Let's welcome in the good captain. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Looks like he has just got into port. And so, Captain, got anything good to show us?
I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have that much stuff. As I was telling you on the phone, I was really had a hard time getting anything together because of the mess. I'm trying to straighten things out. But I found this book I haven't seen since I originally bought it, called Roadkill. You guys ever hear of this?
No.
Krista Faust is the author. She does a lot of noir pulp novels. She's a pretty big writer today. She's won some awards. I think this was her first publication back in 2003. And the cover is by Bernie Wrightson.
Wow.
And it's in 2 languages. It's in the flip side is in Spanish, and then the other side is in English. And
Has he torn him right in half on the cover?
Torn the guy in half?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it just looks that way. Okay.
And it's signed by all 4 of the people involved. There's like 3 different stories in here by 3 different authors, and they all signed it, and then Bernie Wrightson signed it.
Wow.
Cam, have you read any of her other stuff?
No, I've just, like I said, I'm just reacquainting myself with this book and found out that she's written a lot of pulp novels and stuff. I haven't read any of her things yet.
She also has a private detective book called Butch Fatal. And anybody that cares to can look up the rest of the title. I will not say that in front of Micah.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's, for someone, that dislikes Gil Kane. I mean, I still take care of you.
Thank you.
So you should have heard the kids cussing like a sailor the other night when you weren't on.
Oh dear.
Anyway, this is I don't know if you can see that there. It's signed and numbered edition, whatever the number is, from 333. So this is a limited edition, and I've never seen this anywhere. I tried to look it up on different sites. I can't find it anywhere. It's just nowhere. So I'm wondering about the rarity of this thing. But yeah, it's pretty neat that I think this is Bernie Wrightson's signature. Anybody recognize that right there? Right there?
Mm-mm.
Anyway, that's number 27 out of 333. I got 3 copies of this that I bought back in 2003. Let's see what else I got. I found this while I was going through the back there trying to organize stuff. I also found this. I think this came out in 2007. I'm not sure. Jim Starlin. Kid Cosmos, signed by Jim Starlin up here. 87 out of 200 copies. It's one of those Dynamic Forces books.
Rob?
Yeah, let's see.
Gotham?
Let's take it out here. Oh man, I don't know. I got the. Oh, I found. This is something that Gratu showed this. That is channel. This is Buffalo Laughs. He was telling you this is the side you should be showing.
I don't know. As a Donald fan, it really is upsetting to me.
Well, at least the blood is black and it's not red.
Right.
I don't know, man. I found some of these Bitcomania. '97. Digest size fan magazine dedicated to Ditko. And I think I showed this before, the Hulk record. Nobody Loves the Hulk.
Cool.
What is this? Oh, this is some other stuff that I was going to show Steve. Charlton 66. He's not around. I don't know, man. Oh, well, I might as well show it. This is Static, Steve, the first appearance of Static in, what was it called? Charlton Action, number 11. It took over the numbering from Charlton Bullseye, 1 through 10, and then it became Charlton Action with number 11, and that's the first appearance of Static. And then
When I was a kid, I was a superhero, and my name was Super Static.
Super Static.
Yeah, I'd rub my feet on the carpet and shock my sister with it.
Oh, you were electrically charged. The girls
Yeah.
must have loved you.
She did. She loved me.
And then number 12, and then that was the last issue before. I think that right after this, the Charlton just collapsed. So these were the first two appearances of Static, and then Static reemerged with Renegade Press. Decided to publish it and continue the series with the third episode of Static, and sort of a small reintroduction to the origin. There's another copy, number 1 from Renegade Press, Ditko's World, Static. And number 2. And then number 3, and then that was the last one, last issue. Interesting book. All it centers around his Steve Ditko's philosophy, objectivist philosophy. I think that's about all I got right now.
Okay, Captain. Very good. All right. Paulo, you want to send some files over?
Mm-hmm.
Captain, are those statics any good, according to Leadpipe? He's asking.
I read the first one, and it is. It's pretty good. It's got an interesting concept,
All right.
I liked it.
Let's see what Paulo has.
More German comics, and now Bonanza. This one also lasted for a while. Here's some German version of Haas.
Bonanza was very popular in Germany, wasn't it, Paulo?
Bonanza was very popular all over Europe, from what I understand. Even my mom liked it, and she didn't like anything that had subtitles. An adaptation of the Lord of the Rings animated film. Came out as a one-shot, and it is a photo comic.
Huh.
Lasso, one of many Western titles by Bastei. Although they preferred having titles with Native Americans rather than cowboys.
I have a few of those issues.
Nice. Lasso. This one was very weird. I don't know exactly what this is. The comic's called Love Song. And yes, this. I thought when I was looking at info about this, I thought it would be a romance comic, but
that's scarier than that Bernie Wrightson stuff earlier.
Yeah, we got to bring back the code for those books.
Yeah. Mikros. This was a French superhero from Louvre. They gave him their own title. He appeared in an anthology in France, but they gave him his own title. here at Bastei.
Sounds Greek.
Yeah, the name does sound Greek. Manos the Demon Hunter, also a very long-running adventure title. It has nothing to do with the Hands of Fate.
No.
Here's another one.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's some Phantom. Famous everywhere, of course. This one also lasted for a while. But these are newspaper strip reprints, so they had a lot to go through. Here's another Western, Silver Arrow.
Nice colors on that.
Yeah. This one was also long running. This issue over here is 132.
Goodness.
Supernova, short-lived anthology. Another one. And Vanessa. I don't know exactly what this is. I think the subtitle is Fred of the Spirits. She's always appearing with ghosts.
The Song of the Spirit, yeah.
And that is it. There are a lot more titles that I didn't include, so maybe I'll look up some different covers one of these days, and we'll have some more German comics.
All right. You able to stick around, or you got to go?
I can stick around, but since you guys went into daylight savings time before, I have 1 hour less of difference. So
Paulo, just give us a heads up on his German comics so we can make sure Zach's in the chat.
Excellent. All right, Grau2, you ready to go again?
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know what it was about the Phantom that made him so huge everywhere, Europe, everywhere, South America, more so than he was here. But Top Cat was huge. I think it only lasted one season here, but in Mexico, this was a huge hit. They call him Don Gato, and they even made some Mexican-made feature films about Top Cat. This is the first copy of Twilight Zone I got as a kid.
Nice.
But I was just looking at this book. It's a book about freak show art, and I've got several books like this that a few years ago I made a couple of freak show banners, and there used to be, and well, there still is in Waxahachie, outside of Dallas. There's Outsider Art Gallery where they would have guys that did insane just guys that live out in the forest that do weird, or insane people that do art. And one time they had an opening of just all freak show banners, and I let a friend know about one that was like a Bonnie and Clyde. When they were still around, there was some kind of poster for that, and the guy bought it and gave me a commission because he resold it for a lot of money. A friend of mine. But I'd like to get back into maybe painting some of these things. They're fun to do, and some of them they're different artists. This one looks very much like pulp art. So I just pulled this off and they're just, it's a lot of fun looking at this stuff. To me, it's the same, this kind of art, comic books, it's all the same kind of stuff. This is a book that came out in the early 70s. Looks like there's a sticker that says June 6, 1973. There were in the 70s, there was the 50s nostalgia, and there's also the 1930s nostalgia. And this is beautiful Alex Raymond art. There's a bunch of volumes of this. I just pulled this off the shelf. Anyway, what else is entertaining?
Has anybody reproduced that Flash Gordon, Ratu? That book you just showed?
Has anyone what?
Reproduced it? Has it been redone?
Well, there are books of Flash Gordon that came out in the 80s or 90s that were done differently. I think they were in a different format, but this is volume 5. I think, I'm not sure how many there were. I think there are only 5. There's a listing of them here. You used to be able to find these pretty easily at used bookstores. I mean, it was.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome color inside too.
This, I think, has been colored wrong. See it. This, I think, that guy was originally shirtless, and they've colored a shirt onto him because that's actually like. And it says, "On this fat belly, I do declare that Ming is a punk beyond compare." Flash Gordon. I think it was actually cut into his belly or written on his belly. He was standing there without a shirt, and you can just see they crudely colored it, I guess, to make Flash not seem as violent. I don't know why they would have done that. But anyway, boy. Yeah, there's not much. If I think Gotham City Comics is in the chat now, so I'll show that New Mutants book again. Purely crass commercial attempt to, because he's thinking of putting it on consignment. To me, this is just a hideous thing. and I would love to see it gone. So,
did you buy that back in the day? Was it in a pull box?
No, it just popped up
it
popped up over the years before he became the international superstar movie hero.
Looks about an 8.5 from here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what. I mean, is it considered to be a problem that it's not cut perfectly? And it's not a spine roll; it's just a.
I think that qualifies for a very fine plus.
Yeah, but it's not as great as this Black Rock cover, which. But I won't get into that again because it offends people. I don't have much to show.
No, it's good stuff. And Jambo, it's kind of dangerous going to Jambo. He has actually set off the alarm 2 times, so we always go reckless. There we go.
Bring you there to begin with.
It's a great cover.
It's not as good as yours. About some Namor.
Another great cover right there.
Fighting Hercules.
I don't know. There's something about sweaty, half-naked men rolling around.
And there you go, Micah.
Boy.
Splashed paint and all. Somebody sprayed it with some crazy paint. Maybe they were trying to cover up the Gil Kane. I don't know, but
yeah, someone tried.
Could that be a problem from the printer?
Maybe.
No.
I don't know. I mean, some of them you see that they have the paint on the upper edge or the bottom edge or something like that.
Yeah.
Does that look like spray paint to you or some printer?
No, it looked like some kind of wash ink or something, really.
Okay, yeah.
Well, there are some younger people think it's a flaw, but if you look at a long box from a certain time period, late 70s, early 80s, they would have color paint on the top, which would allow the magazine dealer to know when to pull the book off the stands that have different colors for each month.
Yeah, distributor marks.
Yeah, is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Some people think, oh, that's a flaw.
No,
they all have it.
Not a flaw.
No.
Superman
Papa
status.
Always getting tears.
I always have to laugh when I see that cover. Even when I pull it out of my own collection, I'm always laughing at it. You know,
So he's showing them home movies or what?
Yeah, it's showing him tearjerkers and then capturing the tears for some reason. I don't know.
Gonna use it in an experiment to make Super Jimmy.
It's like
It's
Eric
what the
making
world
it-
needs, right?
Weird War Tales. I got some of those ones from Gotham City.
Gorillas and monsters.
What's
Yeah.
better than that, man? Nothing.
Gorillas and dinosaurs or dragons.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Some Starlin.
Nice.
Yeah.
And a little bit more.
Should have been the last Thanos story.
Yeah. I agree. That's it.
Okay. And away we go to Mr. Breen.
What else is probably still here? Here's that cobalt blue.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have the whole run apparently.
Mhm.
And here's one called Northern Light.
Are these Canadian?
Yeah, with an ad for Bluebird on the back.
They're from no, this is Power Comics. Is that from Paragon or from Power Comics as well?
Yes, and then this is Power Comics as well. I'm assuming it's I don't know if this is from Power Comics or just the name of the comic. No, Power Comics by Power Comics, but it's larger than the other two. Anywho, so made a trip to a comic shop a couple weeks ago and show what I picked up. Action Comics for something or other.
Cool.
For something or other.
423. Avengers 29.
Oh, that's nice.
Brave and the Bold 61.
Ah.
$5.
And the Black Canary.
What? Black Canary, yeah. Very nice.
Mhm.
And here's Brave and the Bold 63, where Supergirl and Wonder Woman. Yeah, Supergirl quits being Supergirl to go join the Paris jet set. Wonder Woman goes to talk her out of it and ends up joining her. And then part 2 is where they fight for the honor of marrying Claymore that we saw earlier tonight.
Oh, with a K shirt?
Yeah. Here's issue 90.
Nice.
And 97.
Excellent.
And 99.
Great.
He's having a rough day.
Captain Marvel number 5.
Oh yeah.
I believe that was $5.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
There's Daredevil 70. This is the kids from the DC horror comics that grew up to be delinquents.
Well, I love Disney and comics got out of parole. Good. Nice to see you, Steve.
He was a comic book world the other day. Unfortunately, I was not. That's why I missed him. Here's DC Special.
All right.
There's Detective Comics 392. Now, I don't know how much these were exactly, but I think they were like $3, $4, and $5. But it got a couple Doom Patrols here.
Wow, that's a great price.
And just what? Hope, Rod, if you're watching, here's some go-go checks for you.
Look at that, nice, very nice.
And here's some more go-go checks for you.
Oh yeah,
those are so cool.
And if that's not enough go-go checks for you, have one more.
There has been no romance yet.
I know. It's just can't find them. And here's another Flash. And here's issue 204, where Iris tells everybody that Barry's the Flash. And here's 205, where Iris is sporting 2 black eyes. No, I'm kidding. There's Green Lantern, Green Arrow.
With Spiro Agnew.
I always thought that's who that. I mean, it wasn't, but he always looked like that to me.
Yeah.
That look like an older Vincent Price, doesn't it? A little bit.
Older? Yeah. If he, I know he was a chef, and if he ate his own cooking for a year, there's House of Secrets 138.
Cool.
Those darn kids.
There's Hulk 116. And here's this another thing. Sorry, Rod's not here because this has pretty much all of his favorites. Oversized, square bound, go-go checks.
Wow.
Yep.
And since you're showing Marvel features,
here we
go.
All right. First Defenders.
3, so I now have all 3 of those. And last but not least, the Metal Men, the Witch Hunt of 1969.
All right.
And that's all I got.
Nice.
Very good stuff. All right. Well, unless Captain has something for us, that might be it. Captain, do you have anything else?
Well, I think I might have a few things here. Let me see.
Thank you, Michael.
Oh, I got a couple of pieces of art from Tony. Why Not Art?
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting all the Universal monsters done by him. So now I got the Phantom of the Opera.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then Hyde. Mr. Hyde.
Very nice.
He's a great art. He does a lot of great artwork. And then I got this from my friend Leo from Time Travel Comics. We saw each other the other day, and he gave me a bag full of comics he picked up. I don't know. He in his travels, he always finds some really inexpensive books wherever he goes, and he's picking up the stuff for me. I don't know. So I thought it was pretty cool. And what else did he get me? He got me Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, I think issue 1. Let's see what this is. One.
Oh, my goodness.
What happened, Lucy? 1, 2, and 3.
All right.
Eric's just making my day. Here, I'll show it to you there.
Hey, they, I don't know, with the, they might be worth something with this. What? There's a new movie coming out or something, or a new series or something. Anybody heard about that?
Yeah.
Anybody heard about that?
Yeah, I think I've seen an advertisement for a new movie. I think he breaks out of the retirement home or something.
It's going to be real thorough.
And he also got me this 4-star spectacular. What is this? Number 1. That's giant. And Starfire #3.
Oh, I love those.
I've been picking up a lot of this stuff. Number ones. And
a great cover.
There's rumors there might be a TV series. Of course, they're just rumors, but you never know.
Well, I hope she has that cool costume.
Yeah, it looks like a half frog. I don't know where the other half went, but interesting concept, you know. She was a slave, and then takes her a long time to figure out what freedom is, you know. And she becomes a Red Sonja type of character. Instead of sword and sorcery, they call it sword and science, which is kind of bizarre, but that's what it's called, sword and science. What else did I think? I can't remember where I bought this from. It's CC Beck. Did I show this before? I got them from Gotham City, I think.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
And I don't know. I might have got this from him too. I'm not sure. But this had a rolled spine. I took the rolled spine out.
Cool.
Wow. Good cover.
And there was some other thing that I bought that had a. See if I could find it. I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was showing this on like Gratu. Remember Kenneth? I showed you this. It had the rolled spine.
Yeah.
It's gone now. I took it out with a clothes iron. Pretty good. I don't have a press, but
you did a good job on it. Yeah.
And I think Jambo, didn't you buy one of these from him?
Yeah, I think I got one of those.
Yeah.
I think it's got a chip out of it though.
Yeah, this too on the bottom, but I just put a piece of paper behind the cover.
Oh, okay. Well, it makes it present better.
Yeah, just for myself. It's right. You probably can't see it then. Well, but it's out right on the corner there. The whole thing.
You can already even see it.
I didn't attach it or anything. I just slipped it in there. That's all.
Is that a Mac Ray Boy?
What's that?
Is that a Mac Ray Boy cover?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
No, I don't.
Well, that might be too late.
You know what? At first, I thought it might have been Mark Swayze, and then I think it's maybe Kurt Schaffenberger.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure, but it seems like it could be Kurt Schaffenberger. He does some stories in there. So. What else we got here? This is number 148, 1953.
Battles of the World.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I showed. I know I showed this somewhere. I can't remember where the hell I've seen this, man. But number 75, Marvel Family.
Good cover, yeah. You can show all of those.
The Marvel Family, what issue is this? I can't read it. Did I write it on the back? Yeah, 76. From 1952. But you know what? I've seen other copies of this book online, and it has at least a quarter of an inch more on the other copies that I saw. Huh. You can see the whole atomic crimes, what it says here.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was trimmed though. I think it was miscut. Because I looked at it real close underneath the magnifying glass, and it doesn't have any of the telltale signs of being, amateurishly trimmed.
Fawcett did that a lot. They had a lot of miscuts on their books.
Man, I mean, it's like almost a quarter of an inch gone.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice that until I looked at other copies online. I said, "What the hell, man?"
I've got a couple that are kind of wonky like that. They've been cut real bad.
You have this copy?
No, I don't have that one. No, but I mean, I've got a couple of Fawcett books, and they're cut real funny.
I don't understand what happened with the printer there, but and then I got this one here. Oh, I showed this. I got this for $10.
Nice.
Yeah, Captain Marvel 127. So I got this from Dark Tower Comics because it's pretty beat up. It's complete. The story's there. The staples are intact, but it's got a fold crease down the middle, and
yeah, it's not that bad though. Looks good to me.
got some wear on the spine. A lot of I don't know if you can see it that well here, but there's a lot of wear on the cover itself. If you were to hold it in your hand and look at it, you'd say, yeah, that's got a lot of cover creases all over it. I got it for $10, man. I think it's well worth $10.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have paid $20 for it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's about all what I got here to show you. So. That's it. Groovy, man. Groovy.
Looked good. Yeah, Jimbo likes that Marvel family, especially that old guy. He didn't care much for Mary.
Yeah, who wants to see Mary, right?
All right. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Every one of these fossils has great YouTube channels. Check them out. And don't forget to check out the Saturday show from Dr. Silver Age and Shannon. And it's always a treat when more than two of us get together. And so I thank you all. It's a great show. Tune in next week. Maybe somebody will set off the alarm. You never know. It's always hit or miss with these guys. But it was good that Captain could show up.
Yeah,
And,
thanks for having me.
Glad you're feeling better.
Well, I took some pills, happy pills.
It's better than sad ones.
Yeah.
Okay, unless you guys have anything closing comments, I don't have any news or anything. Unless lead paint is still there. My daughter tells me there's something coming up in St. Roberts, Missouri, around the 8th of September. If I make it out that way, I wouldn't mind bumping into lead paint and seeing where he hangs out. But I'll let you know if I find out more. In the meantime, I'll be looking for Crime Classics, Prince Valiant Monthly, and Monster Bash. So there's always that.
Yeah. Would like to add that people should buy comics for the purpose of reading them first and foremost. Instead of looking for the covers for a hot cover or investment covers and stuff like that. It's always a great feeling when you're able to read a great comic book.
Yeah.
I won't bag or board a book until I've read it now. And I love bagging and boarding. So I said I love reading.
You just can't get enough of that at work, can you, Eric?
You should see what this place looks like. This looks like a warehouse that actually has a restroom.
Well, that's what my place looks like. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Well, I wasn't kidding. Tonight, this one where Superman's laughing his butt off, it'll be on my... Before I go to sleep tonight, I'll be reading that.
Did he actually lose his butt?
I don't know yet. I have to find out.
Maybe I'll start on my 225 pages of Speed Racer.
Hey, I forgot I want to show this because Leo got me this and I had never seen this before. Superhero Stamp album. I think there were maybe 12 of these. I'm not sure. Each one had a story in it. And in the stories, there were places where you could put the stamps, like right here. You collect the stamps and paste them in there. Anybody ever heard of these things?
I think I've seen one or of those before. Maybe not that particular issue, but I have seen one of those, I think, before.
I think I've got one
I don't know where
somewhere.
you got the stamps, though.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I'm
Were
gonna.
they postal stamps?
Hell, I don't. Yeah, they're postal stamps.
Okay.
They're actual postal stamps.
Yeah, I remember when they were doing some of the heroes. So yeah, that could have been about that same time.
It's got some
Go through and collect
cool
S&H.
artwork on the back. It harkens back to the 1940s and 50s.
What were you saying, Meyer?
I was asking if anybody ever collected S&H green stamps.
Oh, my ma did, and I
Yeah.
got a lot of her stuff.
Yeah, my parents did.
Yeah, my mom did as well.
I still got a lot. Before she
Top value.
After she died, I got all her S&H green stamps and her gold bell stamps and the books that she didn't never traded in. So I got a whole boxes of them there. I think I showed them one time in one of my videos. But every time I look at that, it gives me memories of my ma, being at those places, trying to redeem it for something at Gold Bell or S&H.
All right. Well, on that note, we will call it a night, and hopefully everyone has a great week. We survived the Ides of March Madness, and all that rolled into one. So on behalf of my guests, thank you all for showing up. We appreciate it, and happy drawing.
Bye-bye, everybody.